Who does not love a fine thigh, perfectly seasoned, slow smoked on the grill? I do. I don't know any cannibals that do not like the thigh. And of course, you know, being a cannibal, we cannot go to the grocery store, but those thighs are worth it. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about harvesting our meals. So stay tuned, and we're going to get into it right after this clip. Hello everybody, and welcome to my show. Today, y'all, we are going to talk about a classic debate that has raged for years. Should we use a machete or should we use an axe to harvest our victims? So let's talk about the machete first. It's smaller, it's lightweight, it has a sharp edge, and it moves faster. And when you hit someone with a machete, you inflict what is called sharp force trauma, which means it cuts. It makes people bleed. But there's a thing about the machete that I don't like very much. You have to swing a machete hard and fast to cut through something. And I think a lot of us prefer using machetes because we've kind of been enchanted by what we see on movies. And you hear the sound when they're swinging, but that's Hollywood, y'all. Now the axe, on the other hand, 8-pound head. The average man swings an axe about 50-55 miles per hour, somewhere in the range of about 10 to 15 feet per second. And when it strikes an object, and it produces what's called blunt force trauma. Now the good thing about an axe is even if you don't hit squarely with the head of the axe, the weight of the axe head itself is going to cause a significant amount of damage. And if you strike with the axe with the cutting edge, then you get the benefit of both blunt force trauma and the sharp force trauma that you get from the machete. But you never get from the machete the blunt force trauma that you get from an axe. There are other benefits to the axe as well. Imagine that your victim realizes that you are after them before you actually get to strike a blow, and they do what they always do. They run into the bathroom and lock the door and try to call 911. Good luck chopping down a door or busting a doorknob off with a machete. But with this thing right here, you can go all Jack Nicholson on The Shining all day long. You can chop holes in the door, or you can just break the doorknob off. It's up to you. Try cutting through sheetrock with this thing. All you're going to end up with are a bunch of thin slices in the wall. You're going to be hacking and hacking. You're going to be tired. And nobody wants that. When we go out to do our business, when we go out to harvest our victims, we're not going to the gym. We're not trying to get a workout. So of course we're going to want to go with the axe. Now one of the downsides of the axe, and this is attributable to Hollywood also, a lot of people say that the axe is so cliche, the axe is so Friday the 13th or whatever movie they're talking about. They look down on axe murderers, and I just have a problem with that. You know, I don't see how the axe is trashy, but somehow or another this is classy. So I don't like people passing moral value judgments on axe murderers just for aesthetic reasons. But if you're not an axe person because of some movies that you've seen on, you know, Netflix, or if you're a machete person because you've seen some movies on Netflix, then I would highly recommend that you reevaluate who you are and what you're in this for. Well, that's all I have for you guys today, and I appreciate you watching this episode. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. And I do this for you, but I also do this for me because I love communicating with you guys and I love talking with you guys. So to wrap up, the axe, yes. The machete, no. With the axe, we get our blunt force trauma, we get our sharp force trauma, and despite what people think about the axe and what people say about the axe, Don't let popular opinion sway you. It is about getting the meat. It is about getting the thigh. And don't forget that. I'll see you next time. In next week's episode, we're getting into style, right? Are we going to go with the, hold on a second. We're going with the classic 70s ski mask when we do our business, or are we going to go with the backwoods killer style? We're going to talk about it next week, so you guys let me know what you think. 70s mugger, deep woods killer. We'll talk about that one next week. Thanks for watching my show. See you next time.